A truly good man is someone who can guard, who can provide, who can help, who can bring comfort, who can correct, and who can guide with discipline, whatever it takes to make the world a little better simply because he was here. The loud people in the world, making all the noise, are mostly the 99% who don't really understand what must be done. That's why when I speak and you can't fully grasp what I'm saying, it might actually be a positive sign, because it likely means I'm talking from a place in life where you haven't reached yet. It's amazing how so many people wish to be outstanding, but at the same time, they want to blend in and be accepted as normal. By its very definition, that mindset is aiming toward being average. Ordinary people achieve ordinary results. Unusual people get unusual outcomes. It's simply impossible to behave like everybody else and expect to have results different from them. Following the same crowd guarantees average outcomes. You must become the person who can accept the uncomfortable, the hard times. Be the individual who welcomes the tough grind, the daily effort. Don't run from pain. Don't hesitate to shed some sweat or even some blood if that's what it takes. If you ask any of my teammates about Michael Jordan, they'll all say one thing: he never asked anyone to do anything that he wasn't ready to do himself. Some people will say, oh well, he wasn't really a nice guy. Some even called him a tyrant. But that's only because they never wanted greatness themselves. If you are okay with walking alongside your own shadow, and you recognize that the only one you can truly rely on is that man right there in your reflection, then you'll understand. Hey man, how you doing? Pretty good, how about you? All good, brother. It might feel a little odd talking to yourself, but it's necessary, because at some point, everyone else has faded far behind. If you're comfortable walking this path alone, then let me tell you, the entire world becomes your playground. A few years ago, I went to a powerlifting meet. There was a man competing there who holds several squat records. He's just a regular guy from a regular working-class town near Newcastle. Watching this man get ready was something extraordinary. You'll never hear him listen to them at any other time. He puts on his headphones, then starts pacing back and forth like a bull preparing to charge. When he finally steps on the stage, it gives you goosebumps. You see him channel a kind of rage and focus, almost like a warrior going into battle. It's your brother, your mother, your friend. They'll all say the same thing. You've changed. Why are you doing this again? Oh, here we go, trying something new again. But really, it's not about them being right or wrong. The deeper truth lies in just how right or how wrong they might be. Let's say you once wanted to start a podcast. You gave it a shot, you recorded 3 episodes, but then stopped. Now those same people say, see? I told you to stop chasing these silly dreams. Stop wasting time on this influencer nonsense. You can replace influencer with any other dream you're chasing. But here's the truth. Even doing those 3 episodes has brought you closer to your goal than doing nothing at all. It's all about moving in the right direction and recognizing that critics are usually right about small matters, but wrong where it counts most. For a long time, I believed I had to be the leader, to be the one in charge. But then I realized, no, you don't always have to be that person. Sometimes your job is to support your leader, to follow their guidance. It's not always about you. That moment right there completely shifted my way of thinking, because from that point forward, both in my job and my personal life, I understood something important, that I don't always have to be the main focus, even though our ego constantly pushes us to make everything about ourselves. The ego always demands the spotlight, but the truth is, it's not about us at all. Actually, in a situation like this where the platoon leader decides to take certain actions, maybe he notices something that I am not aware of, or perhaps he has a completely different plan or goal that he is trying to accomplish, and by stepping in and interfering, I could unknowingly disrupt that duet. Now, sure, interfering might make me feel good in the moment because I'll think, oh well, I may not be in charge, but look at me. I'm out here making the decisions. That right there, that's ego speaking. What we really need to do is learn to put aside our ego, support the person leading the team, and keep moving forward together as one unit, because in the end, it's not about me. It's about the group working together as a team. If you're someone who struggles with a constant and overwhelming feeling of being not good enough, then your ability to dismiss any good or positive thoughts that come into your head will be incredibly strong. And if you try to begin your progress just by focusing on positive thinking like I need to think it, wish it, believe it, and I'll achieve it, then your deeply rooted negative mindset will just completely crush those thoughts before they can grow. I speak from my own personal experience here, as someone who spent a lot of my life being deeply unsure of myself, someone who still deals with moments of self-doubt and imposter syndrome that tends to sneak in from time to time. What you have to do instead is start with action. You have to ask yourself, what would need to happen this week for me to look back at the end of it and feel proud of myself? Stop making promises to yourself that you keep breaking. For example, if you tell yourself, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 7:30 a.m., then when the time comes and you feel like hitting the snooze button, don't do it. That's a small victory for the day, and that's exactly what action looks like. Let's say you want to quit your job and become a writer. Ask yourself, can you commit to writing just one blog post on Substack every week for the next 3 weeks? Doing that alone will make you feel less like a failure. Action must always come first. Winning at anything requires you to dig incredibly deep within yourself. It's not something superficial or easy. It takes going far beyond the surface, far beyond even your inner self. You have to go to a place inside you that most people haven't dared to visit in a very long time, simply because they're too afraid to face that part of themselves. They don't know who that person inside them is anymore, and that scares them. Most people go through life just trying to live in the world without making too many mistakes, trying not to crash into too many walls along the way. They aim for a simple, pleasant family life, try to have fun, save some money, but that's a very small and limited way of living. Life can be much bigger, much broader, once you realize one simple truth: everything around you that you call a life was actually created by people who were no smarter than you. And that means you can change it. You can have an impact on it. You can create your own things that other people can use and benefit from. Once you realize that life is something you can poke, push, and shape, and that if you push hard enough, something will move or shift on the other side, then everything changes. You can mold your life. You can reshape it. And honestly, that might be the most important realization anyone can have. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of old Western movies. You know, the ones with the quiet hero types like the characters played by Gary Cooper. That's where I developed my idea of what it meant to be a man. For me, being a man meant having self-control, not being mean, not bullying others, being a decent person, and treating women with respect. Showing respect toward women isn't a weakness. It's actually a sign of real masculinity and inner strength. When you're truly confident in your manhood, you don't need to prove yourself by putting women down or trying to dominate them. You can respect them fully, and doing so shows your confidence and security as a man. You don't have to belittle others just to feel better about yourself. It's time we rethink what these qualities really mean. There aren't really any true role models around these days. You're either looking at extreme personalities like Andrew Tate or seeing men who seem too scared to show any masculinity at all. The truth is, your natural drive, confidence, and energy aren't bad. They are what help you get things done, give you power, push you forward in life, make you work hard, and keep you motivated. But you must learn to control these qualities properly and use them wisely. You need to recognize who you are, see the good in it, and notice the power it brings. I've always been someone who tries to work harder than others because that's how I became successful. There was this game scheduled at 7:20 p.m., and I decided to get to the Staples Center by 3:20 p.m. because we were facing the Lakers during their championship era with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. I planned to make 400 successful shots before I went back to the locker room and relaxed before the match. I got into my car, reached the gym, and as I walked onto the court, I saw Kobe Bryant already practicing. I trained hard for an hour or more, and when I finished, I sat down and still heard the sound of the ball. I looked and saw that Kobe was still training. He had been sweating hard since I arrived and kept going. He wasn't just casually practicing either. He was practicing real game moves with full focus. I finished my routine, went to the sauna, and prepared for the game. That night, Kobe scored 40 points against us. After the game, I had to ask him why he worked out for so long. He told me, "I saw you come in, and I wanted you to know that no matter how hard you work, I'm willing to work harder." He explained that it wasn't anything personal. He simply wanted to push himself to be better. That moment made me realize the depth of his competitive spirit, and it motivated me to push harder. You need to be the person who accepts the tough, painful parts of life. You need to embrace hard work and the daily struggle. Don't be afraid of getting hurt or making sacrifices. Your choices, made moment by moment, decide whether you will become that kind of person or not. Tonight, I made a tough choice and I feel stronger because of it. To be your best self, you must be willing to make hard decisions, take risks, and accept that others might not agree with you. You must become comfortable with yourself. If you're uncomfortable being alone with yourself, then that's the person you must focus on changing. If you were designing a person to be strong, you wouldn't give them an easy, carefree life. If you wanted to teach them patience, you wouldn't give them everything instantly either. Every good quality comes at a price, and the question is, are you willing to pay it? If people saw their hard times as the price they're paying with their time and life, they'd probably accept those challenges more easily. When I think about myself in old age, I know I'll look back and want to have those strong qualities. But I also know I must face tough moments now to develop them, and that gives me peace in difficult times. Right now, your family is likely searching for that one strong person who can guide them through hard times. Make sure when they look around, they find you. Now is your moment to rise up and be that person who can handle anything. Stay strong. The biggest regret people have before they die is not becoming the person they truly wanted to be. I believe we are all placed in a world where we don't quite fit in. Along the way, many people try to convince you that certain achievements will make you special, whether it's winning awards, attending top schools, having a beautiful appearance, marrying the right partner, or living in a fancy neighborhood. You might chase all of that, only to finally realize you were meant to become someone unique deep inside, someone true to yourself. Next time you feel tempted to choose comfort, remind yourself that your future self will be the one suffering for it. It's very easy to ignore responsibilities and push them aside, but one day that future version of you will become your present self, and you'll regret not making better choices earlier. Everything you do matters. A common mistake people make is thinking only big actions count. But no, everything matters. Reading a book, listening to educational audio, attending a class, going to bed early, waking up early, and putting in effort, it all adds up. Never apologize for being yourself. If people don't like your personality, looks, or the way you speak, it simply means they aren't your people. Don't change yourself to fit in with your environment. Instead, find a better environment that matches your true self and stay authentic. Most men probably don't fully understand that when a man cries and shows vulnerability, it's because he's really hurting. I've been in that situation myself. There's no shame in crying. It's perfectly fine for men to cry because we are humans too. Showing that vulnerable side doesn't make you weak. You can cry for your loved ones, for your wife, husband, kids, and even for future generations who will remember you after you're gone. One day people will talk about what you did in your life, but it all starts with you and your connection with the higher power above. If you want to be great, you must be ready to get up after falling down again and again. Even when you feel like you can't take another hit or you can't get up from being knocked down, that's usually when you're just beginning your real journey. That's exactly the moment when you are just beginning. For some strange reason, this world tries to make you hide your true self. Society pushes you to think like everyone else, to feel the same as others. Maybe for some people who are too distracted from their true dreams, that doesn't sound like a bad thing. But the pain of seeing through these limits without any distractions to cover it up is almost too much to bear. It hurts because everything around you pushes you to give up and become what others expect from you. And if I could share some advice, I honestly don't know what stage you're in right now in your life journey. Maybe you're in the third part of your life, or perhaps you're in the last part. Remember, you won't live forever, not in this world. You might even be at the beginning of your life, or somewhere in the middle. But this time, it has to be personal. See, the last time, you were just going through the motions, just repeating the steps, just playing the songs you practiced before, not really feeling it. You became numb. You felt exhausted and drained. And now you're feeling broken, frustrated, and angry because you lost. And I wonder, are you strong enough, brave enough? Do you have enough belief in yourself to come back to the fight again? Do you have enough strength within you to return to the challenge? Life doesn't stop. It will keep testing you again and again. You must keep standing up after every failure, every doubt, and every setback. You have to keep fighting, keep rising, and never ever let yourself stay down for anything. That's something we all should agree on. If you've been broken before, you know exactly how that pain feels. So now it's like, fine, try to break me again. There are many people who spend their hard-earned money just to watch you perform, and perform again. It's your duty to stay fit, to be strong enough to compete at that level every single night. And as a competitor, I won't back down. I'm not going to say, oh no, my back hurts, or I'm too sore. No, we've got a game against Vince Carter and the Toronto Raptors tonight. Pick your mountain, whatever your biggest challenge is, and know that every journey toward that mountain takes millions of steps. Each day you must take a step forward, and every day you look up at that mountain and say, that's where I need to go. And every day you keep stepping forward again and again and again. Every single thing I did was meant to help me become a better basketball player. Everything. And when you think like that, suddenly, the entire world becomes a place where you can learn to improve your skills. Let yourself go fully into it. Dive into it. You are worthy. You are a once-in-a-lifetime miracle, and there is no one else like you anywhere on this earth. There will never be another person like you. Your DNA, your fingerprints, your walk, your energy, your realness, these are all unique to you. You are special. You are truly special, and you are important.